Hello, welcome back to another installation of What Would Lou Do. Today we have an exciting video for you, at least I'm excited, hope you guys are too. Because as you can see, we have quite a variety of items on this table to talk about. Believe me, it was quite a chore to get all this in here nice and neatly like this. You got no idea how high I've got this camera raised right now. So that at the very least I think should warrant a thumbs up. So I've wanted to do this video for quite a while now, but I kept getting distracted with other projects and just, you know, life in general. I haven't had the adequate time to set aside for this video. Speaking of time, this definitely isn't going to be a brief 5-minute video, so if that's what you're looking for, I can tell you you're going to be disappointed because, as you can see, there's a lot to talk about here. And talk about what would Lou carry every day. Here I have set before you basically the main things that I carry every day or almost every day. But why I wanted to do this is I wanted to talk about different items beyond this scope, right? A lot of people think EDC, this is all they think about right here. The Pistola, a belt, and a holster, and that's it. I've actually been thinking a lot more about the items that I carry every day and how will they benefit me if, say, for instance, it's wintertime, right? So how will this benefit me if I find myself out in the cold? It won't. That's why I wanted to show you guys what I carry, and not to say that you should make your EDC loadout the same as mine. It's just to kind of get your mind working. You figure out what it is that suits you best and what you think you would need. Even with all this you see here, I still can add things to it, right? Because we're not even including like medical, trauma kits, tourniquets, and all those things, right? So this is what I would consider kind of like your bare minimum. This is by no means an end-all be-all. And this is all you need. There's tons more things you can add. And if you guys have any interesting suggestions, then by all means, let us know. I read all the comments. I try to respond to everyone. I don't think there's a single person I haven't responded to yet, except for some of the nasty comments. Usually I just delete those. At the very least, I will say, hey, yeah, thanks for your feedback. Thanks for watching, right? At the very least, I can do that, right? Because without you guys, what's the point of me making these content, right? Who's going to watch it? I'm not going to watch it for myself. I know what I do every day, right? So anyway, without further ado, let's just get into it. First of all, since we're starting with the head, this is actually a new product that I bought. Oh, speaking of products, these are all things that I've purchased, right? No one gave me any of these things. No company is asking me to push these or to give them a good word. This is all stuff that I bought myself, and I just, want to share with you guys things that I've had good experience with, and so I'm going to share them with you. That's it. So don't think it, oh, he's a spokesman for blah, blah, blah. Now that we've got that out of the way for the naysayer that's going to pop up there and eventually. Here's a new hat that I just bought from the Notch company. Little patch there that you can stick your favorite little patches. Even has one right here, which I thought was pretty interesting. I don't know if they make patches this small or if that's actually what that's intended for. Good quality hat. It is adjustable. I like adjustable hats. I don't like that one size fits all stuff because if it doesn't fit well, then I'm stuck with it, I think I've had this for about 2 weeks now and I really like it. But the main reason I bought this hat to begin with was right here. So what this notch is for your safety glasses. So when you are shooting, you can put your hat on and you don't have to like cock your hat up or take it off or turn it around backwards and look like a homeboy, all that good stuff. You just pop them right up under there and you're good to go. And of course you can use it with sunglasses as well. But I thought that was really cool. And at first it was kind of odd, especially when you're not wearing sunglasses. It can kind of throw your peripheral off a little bit because all of a sudden you see like a little window of light on each side. But overall, I really like this. It's very, very good quality. It sits nice and low. All right, so if you're one of those guys that likes the brim of your cap like really low to your brow, this is it. Definitely am liking their stuff so far. Now, don't wear a hat every day, but if I'm out and back shooting or something and I have a hat on, it's definitely going to be this one. Moving right along, we have a paracord bracelet. This is not the old one that you may see in some of my other videos. I actually lost that one when we went to pick up all those railroad ties for a range in the back. And so I actually made this the other day and did a video on it too. So if you guys want to know how to make these, you're in luck. I will show you how to do that. This is a good thing to have in the event that you need some rope or cordage, as they say. You can unravel this. Definitely consider using these because you may need some rope or something and not have any. So that's one thing I recommend. Now, this is the G-Shock from Casio. I had never really had much experience with them before, but I actually really enjoyed it. Now, the main thing I like about this one is that it's solar powered. I don't have to worry about a battery in it, right? Like everyone's all about their smartwatches and things nowadays, but a couple days without power, bye-bye smartwatch. This, as long as you have sun or a light source of any kind, like the lights I've got right here, I can actually just hold that up to it or lay it on a light. And it doesn't have to be LED. They've got little charging stations and all, but even a halogen bulb, right? Anything that's bright, you can just put it on there or facing it and it'll charge it. But yeah, it's shock resistant. So I guess, in the event that you're electrocuted, they roll your corpse off, they can sell your watch to somebody else. Very comfortable. It's just your typical vinyl watch band. This is what I'm running. You can change those out too if you want. It's got all your alarms. It's got the timers. It's got stopwatch. It's the world time. The only thing I don't like about it is that while you can see the hands, they do have a little bit of glow, the light is basically useless. Instead of like a white or a green or a blue, it's orange. And these three little windows here, look, I'm even having to turn it because you can't even see that. Otherwise, really good watch. And so here's one I used to wear, and this one's more like your survival type. This one was actually pretty cool. Now, it's a lot cheaper than the old Casio here, I'll tell you that. Oh, by the way, I'll have links to all this stuff down, almost all these things down in the description. There's a couple that I won't be able to put down there. But if you're interested in any of these, I will try to put them in the description. And later on, I'll probably go into some of these a little more in depth. They deserve a bit more said about them, and I'm just kind of trying to fit this all into hopefully about a 30-minute video, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this is a paracord watch that my wife bought me. I forget what the occasion was, but she bought me this. This one I definitely can't wear anymore, and the only bad thing about a paracord watch is if it's not accurately sized to your wrist, or if you lose weight like I did. I wasn't ever a fat man to begin with, but I've just lost a lot of weight to get my health in check. And so I lost a lot around my wrists, and this definitely cannot fit on me anymore. So again, it's paracord. It had the other stuff like stopwatch, timers, a light that pops up and all that good stuff. But the main shebang was right back here. So it had this buckle here that had three tools on it. So not only did you get your cordage, right, but you had an emergency whistle or a grape whistle. And then you had a compass, which I'm pretty sure the compass is screwed up now because no matter what direction I turn it, it's north. It's just wrong. The other thing is it has a fire starter inside, right? So I used to turn it around this way to the flat, and then let's see if I can get one. Yeah. A really cool idea, whoever come up with this. And you can actually find these buckles on like Amazon, and you can do your own paracord watch if you wanted to. But yeah, this is just really to kind of get you guys to be like, see what's out there. I'm sure that someone has improved upon this design since I had this, right? Because I've had this for quite a few years. Anyway, that's just something else I wanted to throw out there that you could possibly look into. So moving right along, flashlight. You definitely need a flashlight of some sort. I can't tell you how many times I've got caught in a situation to where I needed a flashlight at night and did not have one. This is from Olight. I know people hate Olight, some people hate Streamlight. I like both of the products. More so Streamlight, but Olight's got a couple of good ones too. It's the i3T EOS, or as I like to call it, the Three Amigos. This light here, I got actually for like 15 bucks on Scamazon. You can get it for about 17, 18 now. Good little light. It's slim. It's like 5 lumens right here, and then the max is like 180 or something like that. It's not rechargeable, so it does take a battery, but I use a rechargeable AAA. One thing I like is that it has a pocket clip. Now this pocket clip not only sits on your pocket, but this one here actually, and I've not heard anyone talk about this, but if you pop it around this way, you got a headlamp. And I'm telling you, man, you'd be surprised how much I use this in this fashion. I just clip it to my hat. I'm walking around, I can see perfectly. So definitely a good buy with these, and I would suggest those highly. We've got a multi-tool, right? An actual multi-tool with I think like 18 to 20 something tools here. I'm not going to go over everything, but this is from the SOG company, or SOG, I've heard some people. I don't think that's right. I think SOG, but at the same time, I've not been able to find out what that stands for. So this is the Power Pint, and you can see it fits right in the palm of my hand. And I've got basically like average size hands. My fingers are kind of short, but my hand is, pretty much average size. And it has pliers, has a needle nose, protractor, a large variety of tools, lint being one of the tools apparently. So it's got the knife, a reamer, flathead screwdriver, wire strippers, a file, which is double-sided, so normal file and then the diamond file. Then on the other side, it has a little saw, which is very sharp. I've actually cut quite a bit of wooden things with that. Can opener, Phillips head screwdriver, bottle opener, and then some scissors. And then probably one of the better things about this is it has a bit holder. This magnet in here, right there, makes this entire thing magnetic. Okay, so here I've just got a little optics tool. You can see it is magnetic, so whether you're picking up something like this or you're down here with the bit end, it does make it magnetic. And what I like is that it takes the standard 1/4 inch bit. It's not something where you have to get like this proprietary set of bits. So very cool on them. I really like that. I've looked at other multi-tools, but since I have that one, I'm like, I don't really need another one. It's kind of like with these, right? Enough is never enough. So anyway, next we have some earbuds. If you guys carry these, you know what these are for. These are actually good too, for almost kind of like makeshift ear protection. Like I've forgotten, like when we've gone to the back of our range, I've actually forgotten to bring my earmuffs, and so I use these. They're not quite as good as those big fat Winchester ones that I have, but they do work as far as that goes. And then we're down here, off to the corner, just a couple guitar picks. If you're a musician, I play a wide variety of instruments, but if you're a guitar player, I would expect to find you have these in your EDC. So here we've got the Milwaukee Fastback. Oh, it's fast, baby. This one I actually need to clean out a little bit of lint in there, but anyway, this is my second Fastback. The first one was an actual knife, which I didn't like very much. It was just very plain, and I had to sharpen the blade. This one, of course, has, the double-sided. It takes normal razor blades. And what I really like about this one is when it's closed here, basically got a wire stripper or a seatbelt cutter. It holds a lot of blades. So I believe I've managed to cram like 6 blades in here. If not 6, it was 5. This one I mainly use for storage capacity, but I do use this one from time to time. Now the main one that I use is this one right here. Now this one is really fast. It's a lot lighter because this one is like a aluminum or alloy body. And this one is plastic. And this one is like a 5-in-1 tool. So of course you got the blade, and then you've got the wire stripper / seatbelt cutter. Then you've got a bottle opener, right here. It does have a lanyard on it. It does have blade storage. You can store one blade in there, right in there. I wish there was a little bit more, but that's actually why I carry that one on the other in the other pocket. That way I have plenty of blades and don't have to worry about it. Because you know the one thing about these type of blades is sometimes they chip off and break, and so yeah. But the best thing about this one is the bit holder. It is your standard 1/4 inch, so any of your normal drill bits will fit in this. And this one is, you know, one that comes with it. It's double-sided, so you have any given moment a Phillips head and a flathead. I usually keep it on the flathead just so when I pull it out I pry a lot of things. But yeah, it locks at that angle. It doesn't lock in this angle. You can feel that there's a ledge there and you can turn stuff like this, but it would have just been a tad better if it would have locked there. And also what I'd like to see is for them to maybe incorporate a little ratchet. That would be really cool. But fastback, man, you can't beat it. Now this one right here really is fast, but I recently cleaned the lint out of it, so it has that advantage. All right, next up we've got the Roxxon Roxxoff. This is a really cool blade. This is the Tonto blade. I really love the design of this blade. It's really nice. It's good and sharp as well. You can see right here on the back it's softened, so if you wanted to shave something right, you put your finger right there and it's not like a hard edge digging into it. They actually have a modular system, so you can take these off and swap out this blade right here. They have, I don't know how many different blade attachments. I've not yet bought those, but it's on my to-do list. It's just kind of low on my to-do list. But yeah, one-handed operation. It's very important to have a knife that you can operate with one hand, because most of the times when you need that knife, you're holding something in the other hand. If you can pop that baby out quick like that, that's good. And so what this one also has is these humongous scissors here. Very, very nice scissors, very sharp. I was actually like doing this, like cleaning something off the blade, and it sliced ever so slightly the thinnest bit of skin off my finger, and I was like, wow, man, I got to be careful about this thing. But yeah, and it folds in just like that. You never know it was there. And also a big plus for me is the pocket clip. I don't like knives that you have to wear a sheath. I want to put it in my pocket and pull it out. So big brownie points there to the Roxxon company. Let's continue on. Here we have the keys. Keys is like, nothing big about keys. Actually, there's quite a lot you can put on a key ring. Now you see I have a ton of keys on mine, but I'm going to go through these real quick and show you what I got. So we'll just go as they pop up. So this right here is a valve stem tool for your tires. That way someone can't come up and steal them. And those on the Tundra have this little emblem inside of it. Really cool. Found them at the flea market, come with this little tool. But what I actually realized about this is how useful this is. This size right here is actually 10 millimeter, and 10 millimeter is used in a lot of stuff. So if you found yourself without a 10 millimeter socket in a survival situation and you couldn't get something open, you've got your 10 millimeter right there. You do need fingernail clippers. These are good to have. A lot of people don't think about these, but you know, when you're out and about, man, you get a bunch of grime and dirt up under your fingernails, which can lead to bacteria overgrowth and can actually cause infections up under your fingernails or your toenails. So definitely need a pair of fingernail clippers. Another little pocket knife. These type of pocket knives are not really good for much of anything, but this one here, as you can see, has been used a lot as a prying tool. And at the absolute last resort, I could sharpen this and be able to cut with it. It wouldn't be comfortable, it wouldn't be ideal, but it would be possible. The big one is a ferro rod. We'll actually just take the thing here, and so yeah, that's all you need is a knife and a ferro rod, and you can start a fire. Now, this is one of the ones I really suggest you think about, having something to start a fire, because here we are in winter and it's about to get to the coldest parts of it. And you know, they're talking about, oh, possible power outages and all that, whether that be orchestrated or not. You know, it's just something that you should think about, having the ability to keep yourself warm. These actually are pretty cheap. There's 2 of them in a set. I will also have that linked in the description. Yeah, I think that's all the little tools I have on my keychain. Yes. Okay, and then of course, even if you don't get the ferro rod, you do need a lighter, right? Mr. Flick Your Bic. This is the way to go anytime, right? Because it's a lot quicker than this. And when you're in the cold, if you have this, just use this. You know, you can try this and you can start a fire. I've done it. My wife and kids can attest to that. We were out there in like 20-something degree weather and I started a fire with this thing. But this right here is going to do it in no time. And definitely get a Bic. Bic is they just last forever. They can get wet and continue to work. So I would suggest you go with them. Except for this right here, this child safety thing. I usually take this out and you'll find that you actually can get a few more lights out of it when it seems like it's out of fuel. So definitely have a means to start a fire. Moving right along, this is just a cheap little comb, you know, to comb your hair, nothing big. A wallet, of course, and this is one of those RFID protected ones. It is leather. I recently got this actually. I'm not crazy about the brown, but it's a good quality. It's zipped. I needed one that was enclosed. Somehow dirt gets into my back pocket and scratches, like rubs against all my cards. So I can have a new card and in 3 days, it's got all these scuffs and things on it. So finally I got one that's enclosed. And so I'm hoping that that's going to solve the issue. But you know, these minimalist thin things, you can go with those. But me, I've got way too much stuff to carry. So it doesn't work for me. But if that's your thing, as long as you rock it and it provides you with what you need it to do, good to go. So now we're getting into the exciting territory, right? I'm sure some of you guys have been eyeballing these and like, come on, talk about these. So not yet. So before you can even really consider carrying one of these, you need a good quality belt, a good stern, strong belt to carry these on, because a lot of times what you're going to have is if you're trying to carry these with your normal leather belts or even like a canvas type belt, what you're going to have is it's going to start sagging in the front area where all this weight is. And eventually, when you go to pull that thing out, it could cause you problems. The belt that I have here, and I have this twist tie on it here. Usually these things do not stay rolled up like this because they're very stiff. But this one here is from the Next Belt Company. This is my favorite one. I have another one that's in gray, but I don't really use it all that much. So I just go with the one that I do wear. So it's got this little button. So this is me looking down at the belt. You just put your finger on it and it ratchets on this system right here. And you just push that button and it goes, and then you let it go and then it's locked. And if you want to let it, it's good to go. So, and this thing, man, I've had this for quite a long time now. Every once in a while you'll see, where there's been rubbing on the fabric and you just have like, maybe some little phrase or something. I just take my lighter and, go along it and then do like that. And it basically looks like brand new. But yeah, I've got a lot of use out of this one. You can see right there. It's a really nice belt. The only thing was that this buckle could maybe be a little slimmer, because if you wear it right in the front, especially with a holster with a sidecar, this thing protrudes a lot. And what I actually end up doing is I slide mine to the side. Normally your belt buckle will be right here, but I like my holster right here. And then this one, I'll cock it off to the side so it's not poking way out. But good belts, I really like these. Can't recommend those enough. A lot of other companies that make these, but this is what I've had experience with, and I've not had a single issue out of any of them. So I will suggest that one. And now, oh boy, you guys are excited. And as you can see, I may or may not have a slight affinity for SIG P365s and their Coyote Tan. Maybe just a slight one. This is the Shield Plus, right, with the TLR6. This one is loaded, but I do have it on safe, so no accidental discharges or anything like that. This is actually my EDC. I love this Pistola. I've not had a single problem with it. It's very comfortable. It has the optics if you want to run it. I have put one on here, but this is not cut for it. So if I want to run that on there, I'm going to have to notch that out or get another one of these. It takes up to 13 round and can comfortably conceal. They do have 15 rounds, but that thing makes it way out here. I just usually go with the 10+1, and you can always use a mag carrier. Oh, speaking of which, totally forgot to have this on the table, but a mag carrier. It goes down in your pocket, and then if you need to, you just slide it right out, and boom. You know, so that's actually one thing I forgot to show you guys. So we'll just throw her in right there. This is the P365, the standard P365 and Coyote Tan. So I do have a holster for this one. It's a TLR6. Most of my micros have these TLR6s just because they're cheap and they get the job done. One word about this, I know someone's going to ask. No, they don't make this in the tan. I actually got this one Cerakoted. While this one has some black trim, it didn't have nearly enough for me to want to run a big black light there. I do have a full review of this. I'll leave that linked in the description. 10 rounds, 12 rounds, and can even go up to 15 or 17. There's the 10, and here's the 12. So that basically gives you the XL size grip, which we do have on the table, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, this was my first SIG, and ever since, man, I've got a hold of this one. I've just been taken by this whole butterscotch look here. Some people refer to it as peanut butter, but to me, what it reminds me of actually is that butterscotch candy I used to eat as a kid. So I've actually dubbed this one butterscotch, this one brother-scotch, and this one brother from another mother scotch. Then we go to the P365 XL. It just says X, but this isn't the X version, right? So they had 365, 365X, 365XL, X macros one, which that one I don't care about getting, and then my favorite right there. So this one is 12 rounds. It doesn't take 10, so unless they did some sort of witchcraft to get 10 rounds in this thing to make it California compliant, I don't suspect that they have this version there. On this one, I'm running a rail adapter so I can use this light. I originally was going to use the same light that I've got on here, which is the TLR7A. I do have another one, but recently I was like, hey, I wonder if that O-light would fit on these. And so that's what I did. And this is the PL Mini 2, you know, ambidextrous. It's rechargeable, really cool, customizable, so you can move it around however you want. And that's what I really like about this light, the quickness. If I want it off, boom, it's off. If I want to take this one off, or this one off, or that one, I've got to get a little Allen key and take the screws out and all that good stuff. It's a little more tedious to do that, but this one, like I showed you, you just boom, pop it off. As you see, it comes with a flat trigger, optics ready. Now this one, I just put the Crimson Trace on because I don't have another red dot. This is the first dot that I ever bought, and it was really cheap. I think I got it for like $69 through PSA. While it's not perfect, it has definitely a lot of cons to it. It aided me in wanting to go further, and it served its purpose. You know, I tried it out and I decided, you know what, I think I do want to try a more high-end dot. So yeah, you can see that the dot is on right now. And that's one of the things I don't like about it is there's no power off. Therefore, you've got to have this cover here. That kind of reminds me of Darth Vader. I am your father. There's other things about it, and I'll do a review on it, you know, for you guys looking for a cheaper option. But yeah, so that's another one that I've been practicing around with. And plus two, because I'm having to compare it to our next guest, which is by far my favorite, the P365 XL Spectre Comp. Now, this baby is one bad looking mamma jamma. This is very close to this one, but obviously you can see that the slide is very different. They're virtually the same thing, but with a lot of different slide cuts. Okay, and the grip is different. This is pretty much your traditional grip. This one has this laser engraved texture here. But the big overall difference is the compensator here, right? So whereas that barrel goes all the way to the end, this one is actually the same length as this one. All right, so if I put this up here, right about where that stops right there, that's where this barrel stops as well. And so ideally what happens here is that you'll feel less recoil in here because these portholes allow that gas and that pressure to come out and won't send the slide back quite so violently. At least that's the theory. And from what I've tested from this one to this one, there is a noticeable difference in the recoil with this compensation going on. It also has the flat trigger. It comes the optics ready, clearly. This one I'm running the Holosun 507K. So you can see that this one is on as well. But this one you can actually turn off, and you just by dimming it all the way. As long as this is sitting away to itself, after I think about 2 minutes, the red dot will shut itself off. When you go to grab it or you need it, it will come back on. And it has a couple of different reticle styles, and I'll go into all that later. This one, we're running the TLR7A. Ambidextrous controls, very bright, very nice throw. And in order for me to get this to fit on here, I had to get this rail adapter, which I really like anyway because of the Picatinny style. And plus, it fills up that gap right here. You know, where they have the standard size grip, but then the slide hangs out over. I don't really like the look of that. So even if I wasn't going to run a light on here, I would still want this just to make it look better. That is pretty much my EDC roster, right? Like I said, these aren't all things that I carry necessarily, but they are in rotation and prospects. Alrighty, so that is it. Head from toe, we've carried all sorts of stuff. Now, like I said, there's a ton more stuff that I could talk about. This is, like I said, kind of what I consider my bare minimum. You know, I didn't want to overwhelm you with anything. I just given you some things to think about, to consider, and hopefully, you know, you crazy kids will get creative with it. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end. If you found this video helpful, we ask you to just strike that like, swell that bell, subscribe and vibe with us, and make us feel all appreciated, baby. We appreciate you guys for watching. As we always say, seek the Lord while he may be found, and call upon him while he is near, because he is near to those that be of a broken heart, and save such that be of a contrite spirit. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. He resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So cast yourselves down before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Until next time, guys, take care, and God bless.